Hello, today we will be speaking about why doing good is something that feels good to us and what's the benefit, including the concept of reciprocity from social psychology and the studies on influence. I've got some points basically written down that I want to cover and some data that I want to showcase to you. So, firstly, why would you be doing good? And why does doing good, or does it even feel good to do good? So many people claim that giving presents to their loved ones or friends feels actually better to them than receiving these presents. Why would it be like that? So I searched for some neuroscientific evidence and what does neuroscience say about that. So, at least from my point of view, neuroscience kind of is a tool for understanding what was rewarded evolutionarily. So, why did some people survive and some did not? So, like from the evolutionary point of view, if we agree on the fact that actually our brains reward us for being good, then we can write a hypothesis that that's the behavior that was rewarded in the natural settings. So, for example, I would say like 5,000 years ago or even more, if we assume that doing good actually makes us feel better, we must also assume that evolutionarily it was much easier to survive as a person who was doing good. Why was it so? Firstly, let's look at, is there evidence that from the neuroscience perspective that doing good actually makes us feel better? So actually, yes, because it turns out that according to studies, helping others triggers pleasure and reward centers in the brain. If we do good, a few neurotransmitters are released. So dopamine, which is like central to brain's reward system, is also oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, meaning that when parents have a new baby, for example, oxytocin is released so that the parent bonds with this child. And why is it so? Like, why did evolution get us to the point we are in today? That our brain rewards us for taking care of our child? Well, because if it didn't, then we can write this hypothesis that we wouldn't engage in taking care of our child. So the child would die basically, and there will be no humans. There would be no humans. And the other one is serotonin, which is heavily involved in modulating social behavior and impulse control. So we are rewarded in our brain by doing good. It also involves, we could involve in that game theory. And it turns out that actually tit-for-tat from the evolutionary standpoint is actually the most effective behavior, because if someone, for example, brings us bananas in the wild, then it's the most kind of rewarded behavior for us to then reciprocate their action and also bring them some other fruit, because it actually helps the tribe to survive. Because if we help each other, it's much easier to survive in the wild. If we cooperate, than if we do not cooperate and we just think about ourselves and we are egoistic. So this is important because it turns out that actually from the social psychology standpoint, being good is rewarded even in the business world, because you probably experienced that companies give out free samples in the supermarket, and it turns out you're actually more likely to buy this stuff, and it's quite common sense, but we never think about it in our day-to-day life, or at least not many of us. Either we do it automatically and we are good people automatically, or we just don't do it and we never consider why don't we kind of reap such rewards as people who are just doing good to each other. You can, for example, search for Robert Sapolsky lectures. He worked on evolutionary biology, I think, at Stanford, and he has very interesting lectures actually recorded, and also a book that I will put a link to below. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are watching this, I would be really grateful if you told me whether the shorter format of this video is more interesting to you and which one do you prefer, and you can tell me why so I can amend this. And maybe you can also comment on what topic would you like me to speak in the future, or any preferences. Be grateful. So thanks for today, and see you in a week or